morning, everyone. Any doubts from the last class? Hmm? So in last class, we have completed the PYQs also with respect to Indus Valley civilization. है ना? And we have discussed the introduction of Vedic period, that how advent of Aryans, how does it took place, and then it started changing the nature of economy, political system, society, and religion as well as culture. So today we are going to start with this only. है ना? Now, the first formula, as I have said, we have to discuss Vedic economy. Vedic economy. So we can divide this Vedic economy into two parts. One is Rig Vedic or early Vedic economy. And second is later Vedic economy. Okay. Now, if you see the timeline, what was the timeline of Rig Vedic period? 1500 to 1000 BC. And later Vedic 1000 to 600. And the dividing line was 1000 BC. Clear? Now, so first of all, we are going to discuss the Rig Vedic period. Now, when Aryans came, so Aryans settled in, or they migrated to Sapt Sindhu region. That is Indus and Seven Rivers. Clear? So these Aryans were basically nomadic people, pastoral people. Pastoral means their life was based on cattle. Clear? And remember, they came in search of good grassland because there was 200 years of drought. Clear? According to the Cambridge scholars. Now, in this scenario, so Aryans in this period reached northwestern part of India. Clear? So, what was the nature of economy at that time? What was the nature of economy? So in Rig Vedic period, the economy will be pastoral economy or tribal economy. Pastoral economy, that means their life was based on cattle. This much is clear to all of you. And during this time period, the two important animals were cows and horse. Now, why these animals are important? Now, here you need to understand the concept. If you see the terms related to economy, everything was related to cow. Like a rich person means the person who is having large amount of cows will be called as gomat. Cow was called as go. So everything is related to cow only. Then if cow is the most important part of economy, so the war will happen, that will also for cows only. Clear? So war for cow called as Gavisti. Again, go. Gavisti means search for cow or war for cow. King will be considered as protector of cow. Clear? During this time period, cow is the most important thing. So king was called as Gopala. King was called as Gopala, protector of cow. Protector of cow. Then time. Now time was called as Godhuli. At that time watches were not there. So when cow used to return back to its shade in the evening, that was considered as the you can say sunset. Clear? So that is called as Godhuli. Then during this time period, agricultural economy was not there, but the food grains which was cultivated due to the cow dung, they were called as Godhun. Clear? So food grains were called as Godhun. Clear? Then horse, if you see, it is related to religion. That is the importance of these two animals in Rigvedic period. Cow associated with economy. Horse associated with religion. Various gods are there associated with horse. Marut, Ashwin. Clear? And these are also the synonyms of horse only. This much is clear to all of you. So two important animals, cow and horse. So the tribal was pastoral economy. That means the economy was revolving around the cow. This much is clear? Now, so if these are tribal peoples, so do you think taxation system was there in this period? There was no taxation system. Why? Because it was tribal economy. It was tribal economy, and king belonged to tribe, not a kingdom. And there was no settled or no permanent settlement. Clear? But king used to protect the people of his tribe. King was like a chief of the tribe. This much is clear to all of you. So king used to protect. So in return, you need to pay something. You need to give him something because he is protecting you. So in this scenario, Bali was given. Bali means a kind of voluntary gifts. Bali, voluntary gifts. Clear? So most of the time it will be dairy products. Clear? So Bali means voluntary gifts. When you are going to become the IAS officer, so you are going to get so many gifts from the big corporate owners. So that is a kind of Bali system. Clear? So Bali means voluntary gifts. So during this time period, there was no taxation system. Clear? So during this period, the most important part of economy was cow. Clear? Whether trade and commerce will be there? No. Because they are just family people, na? Tribals, they are continuously moving from one place to other. So, no trade and commerce. Why? Because economy was tribal economy. So if trade is not there, then money economy will also be not there. So what will be the medium of exchange? Barter system. This much is clear to all of you? That was the medium of exchange. Clear? Now, so gradually economy started changing, and around 1000 BC the most important development took place, that is, yes, discovery of iron. Discovery of iron resulted into the creation of iron tools. Iron tools. Now irons will move towards east. In east, North India is there, which means having high rainfall and dense forest. So with the help of iron tools, they are not, now they are going to clear the forest, and then they will start the agricultural economy. Clear? So again, here the economy got changed. So this transformation, the economy in later Vedic period, agricultural economy. Why? Due to the discovery of iron. So earlier the economy was pastoral economy, now it transformed into agricultural economy. Clear? Now earlier the tribes were like, so in Rig Vedic period, important tribes like Kuru tribe, Puru tribe, clear, different tribes were there. Now the moment agricultural economy was started, now they are going to settle their kingdom. Now they will make their kingdom, large area. So now here you will see Kuru kingdom, and the region of Kuru will be called as Kurukshetra. This much is clear to all of you? That transformation came in this period. Then the region of 5 tribes was called as Panchal kingdom. Clear? This difference came. Earlier it was village economy, or you can say tribal economy. Now town started or state started establishing. This much is clear to all of you? Next important feature. Now, during this time period when agricultural economy was there, so here king was not that much powerful because he belongs to tribe. Tribal people were like family, but now king belongs to kingdom. So where king will be powerful? In Rig Vedic period or later Vedic period? Later Vedic period. This much is clear to all of you? देखो तुमको आ गया, है ना? You are ready to clear this examination. Clear? So now here king belongs to kingdom. This much is clear to all of you? Now, so agricultural economy was started. Now king needs to manage the kingdom, and to run the kingdom you need taxation. To run the family you don't need to have taxation system, but if you want to run the kingdom then you should have taxation system. So here is the requirement. This much is clear to all of you. So here you will see that taxation system was started. Now what was the tax? Now agriculture is there, that means you have to pay the 1/6 of agricultural produce to the state. 1/6 of produce, and that is called as bhag. That is called as bhag. Bhag means 1/6 of produce. This one is clear. Whether bali will be there or not? Yes, bali will be there. Even today bali is there. Clear? So voluntary taxes will be there, gifts will be there, along with bali also. This one is clear. Now whether money economy was started or not? No. Though in books it is written that money economy was started, no. They started using precious metals like gold, silver. If you see the money economy, you can go through the site of RBI also. They have mentioned it started from the punch marked coin, 6th century BC. Clear? So here they started using precious metals like Nishka, Shatmana. Clear? Nishka, in your book it is given gold. Clear? But initially it was used as a silver. Clear? Shatmana, copper. Metals, not coins. This much is clear to all of you? This much is clear? This is how economy started changing. Whether trade was started, if agricultural economy was there, how? Now this you have to tell. What is the concept of trade? Very good. Demand and supply. Now how demand and supply? Suppose now the kingdom was started. Suppose in a village 10 people are living. Out of 10, 2 are rich farmers. 2 are rich farmers, and 8 they are involved in different professions like coppersmith, ironsmith, because now iron came, so a new profession will be there, that is ironsmith. Then pottery maker, then craftsman, etc. So agriculture was the main part of economy. So rich people will be involved in agriculture, or upper class involved in agriculture. Like today industries are very important. So rich class involved in industrial sector. This much is clear to all of you. So suppose 2 rich farmers are there. Now for agriculture they need some inputs, like they need potteries, they need agricultural tools, iron tools. So demand was created from this side and supply from this side. This much is clear to all of you. And the concept of demand and supply is called as trade. So birth of internal trade. This much is clear to all of you. So during this time period, birth of internal trade. This much is clear to all of you. Clear? So remember this thing, that during this period, Rig Vedic period, collectivity was there. Collectivity in the sense joint family system was there. All these tribal peoples and king, they belongs to same family. But because of agriculture, the concept of private property came. Clear? Now everyone would like to have their piece of land separately. No one can give their land to even their family members. So if in Rig Vedic period there was concept of joint family system, so in later Vedic period concept of nuclear family system will be established. This much is clear to all of you. This is how the transformation took place because of this discovery of iron. Clear everyone? Draw this. Online students, this much is clear to all of you? Done? Panchal kingdom means group of 5 tribes, they created their kingdom called as Panchal. Panchal means Panch, 5. Clear? Done? So here cattle was very important. Here land will become very important because of agriculture. So here king was called as Gopala. Here king will be called as Bhupala, protector of land. So here war used to happen for cows. Here war will happen for land. This much is clear to all of you? And there was one mains question also, like 2 years ago. They have asked simply, the question was very simple, how the economy was transformed from Rig Vedic to later Vedic period. Where you have to mention, like in Rig Vedic period, there was a joint family system. In later Vedic period, the concept of nuclear family system came. Clear? Then economy, their pastoral economy in later Vedic period, it was agricultural economy. And remember this thing, in Rig Vedic period, king was not powerful. He was just administering his family members, or you can say tribal people only. Clear? And king was elected by the elder people. King was elected by the people of his tribes. Hai na? So if king is elected, so he is like just prime minister of India, first among equals. Clear? That means absolute power was not there. But here, absolute power will be there. Here, kind of monarchy system was established because now he is going to administer the kingdom. Now, hereditary monarchy. That means after king, his son will become king. Clear? Kingdoms were established. This much is clear to all of you? Done? Okay, Shiva is asking why they used to take Bali. Bali was just a form of respect towards the king because he is protecting the his tribal people. This much is clear to all of you. Like if you are going to be a leader, clear, and you are protecting everyone, you need something, na, a form of salary, है ना, form of resource, है ना, for your livelihood. In this way, people used to give him Bali. Which one? Kings. Sorry. During this time period? No, because Mesopotamia was also declined during this period. Clear? When Mesopotamia civilization declined, then Sumeria civilization was establishing. But there is no evidence. Clear? In see in Rig Vedic period, like there is one institution called as Indian Oriental History Institute is there, which says that Lothal port was there during the time period of Rig Vedic age, around 1700 to 1300 BC. Lothal was there, but that was not the major thing. Clear? Because trade was started declining. Now another important thing. Now you will ask, sir, people used to grow the food grains because of Godhun, but that was not the agricultural economy. They used to grow only those crops which can be grown into the cow dung. Clear? And those crops were used by the Rig Vedic Aryans only, not used for the trade and commerce. Internal trade will establish here when agricultural economy was created. This much is clear to all of you. So, what are the food crops which germinates in this cow dung and all? Wheat, barley, clear, some sort of pulses will be there. Rice was very rare because 1 kg of rice, as I have said, requires 15 liters of water. So rice major crop क्यों नहीं होगा? The reason was there was drought. This much is clear to all of you. That is why you will see in later Vedic period when agricultural economy was started, then rice will start gaining the momentum. And during this time period, in later Vedic period, Aryans got shifted towards east. East in the sense Western UP, clear, Haryana region. That is why they created Kurukshetra. Na? Kurukshetra is in Haryana. This much is clear to all of you. This is how. So continuously Aryans were moving. Aryans knew, like Rig Vedic Aryans, they knew about agriculture, which is mentioned in Rig Veda also, but they did not have agricultural tools. Clear? And with the help of copper tools, you cannot cut the dense forest. This much is clear to all of you. Draw this. So Rig Vedic period is like a village economy. You must have seen that movie Lagan. है ना? In the earlier part of movie, the people of the village, they used to take the collective decision, and the head of that head of that village was not having the absolute power. He has to consult with everyone. But here, king will take all the decision. His power will be established. Clear? So what is the feature of Rig Vedic or early Vedic economy? tribal economy or pastoral economy or subsistence economy. This one is clear to all of you? And cattle was the most important part of wealth. है ना? The person who owned large number of cattle will be called as Gomat. Clear? King was called as Gopala, protector of cows. Clear? War will happen, but war will happen for cows. So the war was called as Gavisti. Clear? War was called as Gavisti. Then you can also see the word Gotra was used for the first time for cows, Gotra. Later it will become a system associated with families. But during this time period, Gotra was used for cow. The literal meaning of Gotra is cow pen. That is the ancestral house of a cow. Clear? That means Gotra. Later it will become a system in later Vedic period. Clear? Gotra was used here also, but as an ancestral house of a cow, where the particular breed of cattle used to be kept. This much is clear to all of you. So Gotra was, the literal meaning of Gotra is cow pen. Clear everyone? Done? Now another important feature in this period itself with respect to economy only. During the time period of Rig Vedic age, what was the culture of pottery? Now Aryans were there in which region? In Rig Vedic period, northwestern. In northwest, the soil is not much fertile like Ganga. So here, poor quality of pottery was there, called as OCP, ochre colored pottery. Poor quality. It was very fragile. It was very fragile. Now, in later Vedic period, when Aryan shifted to the western UP and Haryana region, there the soil was good. So here the pottery culture was changed. Now remember this thing, to create a good pottery, to create a good quality of pottery, you need what? You need good soil, you need good grass. Grass provides what? Binding properties. You need temperature. Then only you can create a good pottery. So when they shifted to western UP and Haryana region, here good soil was also available, grassland was also there, which is going to give the binding properties. Temperature was also there. In this scenario, the culture of pottery in later Vedic period was PGW, painted grey-ware pottery. Clear? And in 6th century BC, when Aryans moved to eastern UP and Bihar region, that is the Ganga region, most fertile soil. So their best class pottery will be there. Here, good quality of pottery. But best kahan pe hoga? When Aryans will shift it to Bihar and eastern UP, Ganga region. This much is clear to all of you? So here the culture of pottery was PGW, painted grey-ware. Here, ochre color pottery. Ochre means a kind of red color. Clear? Grey-ware, painted grey-ware. Yes. And this painted grey-ware pottery, it was of good quality, but this will be used by the aristocracy people, means ruling class. Common people will use only red and black color pottery. This much is clear to all of you? Last slide. Yes. What? They use this pottery for the decoration also, and also to keep the food grains. But it will not survive long period of time. This much is clear to all of you. So again, they are going to take another pottery. That was the scenario. Only among the tribal families. Clear? Only among the tribal families. Done? So write down Rig Vedic economy. Understood this concept of economy from Rig Vedic to later Vedic period. Write down Rig Vedic economy. Rig Vedic economy was a tribal economy. Rig Vedic economy was a tribal economy, kind of pastoral economy, kind of pastoral economy. Full stop. The economy was all around the cow. The economy was all around the cow. Economy was all around the cow. This is the main reason that why cow has given importance, in Vedic era, and most of the terms are related to cow. Most of the terms are related to cow. Most of the terms are related to cow. Like cow was called as Gau or Gopa. Cow was called as Gau or Gopa, Gopa, Gopa. Gau or Gopa. Then Gomat means rich person. The person who is going to own large number of cow. Rich person means Gomat. Clear? Gavisti, search for cow or war for cow. Clear? You have already written, just revise all these things. King will be considered as protector of cow, so he is called as Gopala. This much is clear. Then time means Godhuli, when cow used to return in the evening. Clear? Then Gopjanya, you can add this. Gopjanya, master of cow. Gopjanya, master of cow. Gopjanya, master of cow. Duhitri, milcher of cow. Duhitri means daughter or milcher of cow. Then Godhum, food grains. Godhum, food grains. Those food grains which germinates in cow dung. This much is clear to all of you. Those food grains which germinates in cow dung. Godhum, food grains which germinates in cow dung. Then, yes, one more keyword is there. Goghna, guest, who is going to feed the cow. Goghna means guest. Goghna, guest, who feeds the cow. And then in Rig Veda for cow it is written Aghanya, not to be killed. In Rig Veda it is mentioned Aghanya, cow cannot be killed. But see the scenario, Dashu Hatya is mentioned, mass killing of Dashu, non-Aryans. Cow should not be killed, but non-Aryans were killed. Mass killing of Dashu, it is mentioned in Rig Veda. This much is clear to all of you. So, Aghanya, not to be killed for cow. Aghanya, not to be killed. This much is clear. So here cow was given huge importance. So whatever the battle took place in Rig Vedic period, it was for cow. This much is clear. So you can just change the paragraph and write down. Even the battles was fought for, even the battles was fought for securing large number of cattle, fought for securing large number of cattle, securing large number of cattle, full stop. The other important economic commodity, the other important economic commodity or food crop was barley, and you know barley was called as yava, Y-A-V-A, barley known as yava, Y-A-V-A, yava. This much is clear to all of you. Whether taxation system was there in the Vedic period? No. So write down. Next point, there was no formal taxation system, no formal taxation system in this period, but bali or voluntary gifts, were important part of economy. Bali or voluntary gifts were important part of economy. Important part of economy. So during Rig Vedic period, there was no need, for taxation system. There was no need for taxation system because economy was simple based on tribal values. Because economy was simple based on tribal values. Economy was simple based on tribal values. Whether Rig Vedic Aryans were aware about agriculture? Yes. But they did not have iron tools or agricultural tools. Where it is mentioned? Rig Veda Mandal 4. Rig Veda is actually the collection of 10 mandals, 10 books. So which mandal talks about that Rig Vedic people or Rig Vedic Aryans were aware about agriculture? Mandal number 4. This much is clear to all of you. So write down Rig Vedic Aryans were aware of agricultural work mentioned in 4th mandal of Rig Veda. Mentioned in 4th mandal of Rig Veda. Full stop. And there were no trade and commerce in this period. No trade and commerce in this period. Mandal number 4 of Rig Veda. Agricultural, aware of agriculture work, and there was no trade and commerce in this period. And barter, full stop, barter was the medium of exchange. Barter was the medium of exchange. Barter was the medium of exchange. This much is clear to all of you. Now next, so around 1000 BC, the economy started changing. Why economy started changing? With the discovery of iron, and because of the discovery of iron, it resulted into the creation of iron tools that cleared the forest of North India, and that resulted into which economy? Agricultural economy. And during this time period, iron shifted to western UP and Haryana region, and they started forming the kingdoms. That was the change in economy. This much is clear to all of you. So the king who used to be called as Gopala now became the protector of land, that is called as Bhupala. This much is clear. Taxation system was also started. Clear? So write down later Vedic economy. Later Vedic economy. See, Bali means voluntary gifts, not sacrifice. Clear? Here, Bali is a term used for the gifts, not for the sacrifice. And what kind of gifts they used to give to the chief or the king? Like dairy products. Clear? Like cow milk, ghee, all these things used to be given to the king because it was just a tribal economy. This much is clear to all of you? Yes. Sorry. Cow sacrifice. See, cow was considered as aganya. First of all, not to be killed, it was a crime. Clear? Now, cow sacrifice was not there. They used to kill the like horses and all. Clear? And in later Vedic period, the cows which sterile cows jo hote the na, sterile cows which don't those cows did not give the milk. Those cows were sacrificed. Clear? In this scenario, now try to understand when in later Vedic period they started sacrificing the horses and other cattle. So for traders, horses were the most important thing. In this scenario, they were looking for a new religion which can save the animals. Clear? That is why Jainism and Buddhism came, and their first principle is non-violence. Do not kill the animals. Clear? Then you will see the concept. So when they said do not kill the animals, so now Jain and Buddhists, they will start saving their cattle. On the other hand, Brahmins and Kshatriyas, they were sacrificing. So in this scenario, their cattle started increasing because they used to save their animals. So these communities will become the prosperous community. And Buddhism was the first religion which said that cow should not be killed. Clear? In this scenario, they gave the status to the cow as holy cow. Then Brahmins will also adopt mother cow concept to save the cows because their wealth was increasing. Clear? Buddhism and Jainism. This much is clear. So now in this period, later Vedic period, agriculture was the most important factor. Why? Because of the discovery of iron. Write down later Vedic period. Yes, Rig Vedic people, they use copper as well as bronze tools to fight with the indigenous people. As we have discussed also, na, advent of Aryans, they brought along themselves those bronze helmets, clear, and mail coats to fight with the IVC people. Yes. So we got to know that in later Vedic period only the trade and supply started. The reason for that was the demand and supply for potteries and between that. So even in early Vedic period there was production of barley and all that. See, like for example, here there is a concept of kingdom. But here these tribals, they are continuously moving from one place to other. They are like families. So suppose if this is Rig Vedic Aryan king, Rig Vedic king, under his suppose 30-40 people are there and they are continuously moving. So these people are growing only for their tribes, not for the other people. But in kingdom, you are growing for everyone. So demand and supply will be there. Clear? That is why Rig Vedic economy it was a simple economy based on tribal values. This much is clear to all of you. But here economy will be based on economic values. This much is clear. So now write down later Vedic economy. Online students, this much is clear. So now write down after the Iron Revolution. After the Iron Revolution in 1000 BC, after the Iron Revolution in 1000 BC, along with pastoral economy, agricultural economy was also started also started. So this enabled later Vedic people, this enabled later Vedic people to create iron axe, later Vedic people to create iron axe and plowshare, iron axe and plowshare, iron axe and plowshare, full stop. These tools created the ground, these tools created the ground for agricultural economy. Iron axe and plowshare. So these tools created the ground for agricultural economy. And it is a culture of India. Whatever the thing that gives us prosperity, we start worshipping those things. Like Stone Age, during the time period of Stone Age, stone gave prosperity. Everything was based on stone. So historians say that possibly the worship of stone started from here. Second important thing, during the time period of IVC, everything was based on rivers. Civilization was created due to the rivers. So possibly the culture of worshipping rivers started from here. During this time period, every later Vedic period, everything was based on the plowshare. That means iron tools. So possibly we started worshipping iron from here. Like today, there is one puja also based where the people used to worship iron tools, you know, even iron vehicles also. Vishwakarma puja. This much is clear to all of you, where you can see the mechanic and all, they worship, they wash their tools and then they worship. Yeah. So that is why during this time period, plowshare, holding a plowshare becomes a matter of prestige. That is why the brother of Krishna, Balram, the brother of Krishna was Balram. He is also called as Haldar, holding a plowshare in his hand. It was a matter of prestige. Today, industry is a prestige. Clear? So whosoever is going to create the industry, that person will get the social status in the society. This much is clear to all of you. So plowshare. So remember this thing. During this time period, holding a plowshare become a matter of prestige in the society. That is why upper class people, they used to practice agriculture. Like Raja Janak used to practice agriculture. This much is clear to all of you. So write down. And this is also mentioned in Vedas. Clear? Which Veda talks about that holding a plowshare becomes a matter of prestige? This is mentioned in Yajur Veda. Clear? This is mentioned in Yajur Veda. And in Yajur Veda, there is one text which is associated with Yajur Veda, that is Shatapat Brahman. Shatapat Brahman mentions the worship of plowshare. This much is clear to all of you. And Shatapat Brahman text is associated with which Veda? Yajur Veda. Clear? So write down. During this time period, during this period, holding a plowshare becomes a matter of prestige. During this period, holding a plowshare becomes a matter of prestige. Mentioned in Shatapat Brahman, mentioned in Shatapat Brahman. It is a name of the text. It is not a community Brahmin. Clear? Shatapat Brahman of Yajur Veda. Is there any evidence of later Vedic this plowshare? Yes. The plowshare of this time period was found in western UP area, Atranji Kheda. This much is clear to all of you. Write down. Iron plowshare of this period, iron plowshare of this period, iron plowshare of this period has been found in western UP, found in western UP, found in western UP. This much is clear to all of you. Now, Rig Vedic Aryans, they used to grow the crops like wheat, barley and all. But here the crops will be increased because of the agricultural economy. Like during this time period, later Vedic economy, Barley will be there, barley called as Yava. Wheat was also there. Sugarcane was also there. Even today, sugarcane, largest producer, Western UP area. This much is clear to all of you. And rice was called as Vrihi, Vrihi. This much is clear to all of you. Write down. In later Vedic period, there was increase in the number of crops, like wheat, sugarcane, wheat, barley, vrihi, 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 bracket rice, vrihi. It was not the main crop. Clear, everyone? So now here the crops were increased. Now next important thing, during this period, taxation system. What was the name of the tax? Bhag. What is Bhag? 1/6 of produce. Clear? So write down, in this period, in this period, in this period, taxation system was started. Taxation system was started. That is Bhag, 1/6 of produce. Bhag, 1/6 of produce. 1/6 of produce. Full stop. In this period, the land was donated by the king to the priest. The land was donated by the king to the priest. Land was donated by the king to the priest. Full stop. Agriculture was carried out by upper class people. Agriculture was carried out by upper class people like Raja Janak, comma. Balram was also called as Haldhar. Balram, brother of Krishna. Balram was also called as Haldhar. What is the meaning of Haldhar? The one who holds the plowshare in his hand. Clear? Haldhar, Haldhar. Balram was also called as Haldhar. What is the meaning of Haldhar? One who is going to hold the plowshare in his hand. This much is clear to all of you. Now remember this thing, that along with the agricultural economy, various other professions got prominence into the society, like ironsmith, pottery maker, weaving will also be there. Weaving was the monopoly of women for some time. This much is clear to all of you. So change the paragraph and write down, agricultural economy along with pastoral economy, increased the income of later Vedic people, So in this scenario, it gave promotion to the principle of, demand and supply, principle of demand and supply. So it gave birth to internal trade. Full stop. Iron smith became an integral part of society. Ironsmith became an integral part of society. Full stop. Weaving got the promotion. Weaving got the promotion. Weaving got the promotion. And it was the monopoly of women for some time. It was the monopoly of women for some time. Clear? The main development took place in the field of pottery. Red ware pottery was used by the common people, but painted grey ware pottery was used by the aristocracy or ruling class. This much is clear to all of you? Write down the main development took place in the field of pottery. The main development took place in the field of pottery. Red ware pottery. Red ware pottery for common people. Red ware pottery for common people. Painted grey ware pottery for aristocracy. Painted grey ware pottery for aristocracy. Painted grey ware pottery for aristocracy. This much is clear to all of you. So during this time period, as we have seen, because the economy got changed, so emergence of towns also. Now during this time period, important towns were Hastinapur, Kaushambi, Kurukshetra, etc. This much is clear to all of you. So when internal trade was started, do you think that the concept of bargain system also came in this period? Yes. What is the source? UPSC will always ask the source. Atharva Veda. Atharva Veda talks about the concept of bargain system. This much is clear to all of you. Write down. During this period, emergence of new towns like Hastinapur, Kaushambi, emergence of new towns like Hastinapur, Kaushambi, etc. Hastinapur, Kaushambi, etc. Full stop. Atharved also mentions about the concept of bargain system. Also mentions about Atharved also mentions about the concept of bargain system. Mentions about the concept of bargain system. This one is clear to all of you now. So this is about economy. Clear, everyone? So when economy got changed, political system was also changed or transformed. Now, so now second formula is Rig Vedic polity and later Vedic polity. Now again you need to understand the concept here. So from this topic, the most important thing is if you are able to understand the concept, then this topic is very easy for you. Clear? The only things that you have to revise again and again is fact. Clear? Concept will always be there in your mind. This much is clear to all of you. This is how you are going to understand history. This much is clear. Now Rig Vedic polity. So now Rig Vedic people were tribal people. Clear? Rig Vedic people were tribal people. Rig Vedic people, they are continuously moving from one place to other. So do they have permanent settlement? No, They are continuously moving from one place to other. In this scenario, Rig Vedic polity or their political system was called as Jana. What is the meaning of Jana? People of tribes continuously moving with along with king from one place to other. So what was the political system here? Jana, continuously moving from one place to other. With the discovery of iron, agricultural economy was started. So here economy got changed. And so these Jana, now they will be settled at particular place. So suppose this Jana, this tribe was Kuru. So now they will be settled at a place. So they will create their place called as Kurukshetra. This much is clear to all of you. In this way, Jana started settling down and they came to be called as Janpad. Janpad means birth of state system. This much is clear. Transformation from here to here, from Jana to Janpad. So here we are just getting the evidence of name of tribes. Here we got the evidence of name of kingdoms. This transformation came. And this transformation came because of change in economy. This much is clear to all of you. So Jana. So Jana was administered by whom? King. In Rig Vedic period, king was more like a chief. Whether this king was powerful? No. King was not powerful. Why? Because king was elected by his tribe. Whosoever be more capable, that person will be elected as a king. Okay, this person can protect us. Clear? So he will be elected as a king. So here, king position was not hereditary. He was elected. Clear? So this is called as first among equal. Clear or not? This much is clear. But here king became Bhupala, means protector of land. Protector of land. So now here king will become, now here king belongs to kingdom. This much is clear to all of you. So here king was powerful. This much is clear. Now, so here king will be considered as first among equal. Then how king used to take the decision? Now, king in Rig Vedic period, so king was assisted by 4 tribal assemblies. 4 tribal assemblies. First, Sabha. Second, Samiti. Third, Gana. Fourth, Vidhata. 4 tribal assemblies were there. Now first try to understand the concept of these assemblies. Sabha. Sabha is like house of elder people. Elders. In this, elder people used to be the members and they were very powerful. Like if king has to go for a war, the decision will not be taken by the king, the decision will be taken by the Sabha. It is like cabinet minister. It is like cabinet minister. Though there are council of ministers, but in council of ministers there are only 4 or 5 powerful ministers. They are very experienced. Clear? They are elder people. They are called as cabinet ministers. Who is going to hold the important portfolios, home ministry, finance ministry, external affairs, all these things. So the ministers of these ministries, they are called as cabinet ministers, experienced ministers. This much is clear to all of you. So house of elders. So in this, only elder peoples are there. But remember this, in this assembly, men and women both were members in Rig Vedic period, which means in Rig Vedic period, women had the political right to represent into the political assembly. This much is clear to all of you. But in later Vedic period, the position of women starts declining the moment Varna system will come. Clear? But here, women scholars are there. Lopamudra, Gargi, Ghosha, Yami, different women scholars were there in this period. Clear? That means women were having political right, and if women were representing families, that means they were also having the educational right. This much is clear to all of you. Though Rig Vedic society was patriarchal, Aryan society was patriarchal, so Rig Vedic society was patriarchal, but women was enjoying the favorable position. This much is clear to all of you, but that will not be the case in later Vedic period. Clear? Now, Samiti. So, Sabha is considered as most decisive assembly. Second is Samiti. Samiti is like lower house. This much is clear. Now, who are the members of Samiti? Now, this is Rig Vedic Aryan period. Clear? So, I'll just give you one example. This is king. Now, below the king, the basic unit in Rig Vedic Aryans, like families. Basic unit in the society, family. So, family, one family was called as Kul. One family was called as Kul. Head of the family will be the male member, because it is the patriarchal society. Now here, patriarchal society, male is the head of the family. That is why the head of the family was called as Kulpati. Family was called as Kul, so head of the family will be called as Kulpati. Now suppose there are 3 families in this. So how many Kulpati will be there? 3 Kulpatis. This much is clear to all of you. Now these Kulpatis, all these are male. Now these Kulpatis, so the head of the family will be the delegates in Samiti. That means head of each family will represent in Samiti. This much is clear to all of you, because it is the Rig Vedic Aryan society. Villages are not there. These are tribals, continuously moving from one place to other. Suppose 10 families are there, so 10 head of the families will represent in Samiti. Clear? Which means in this no female will be present, because head of the family will be male only. This much is clear to all of you. So here, head of the family were delegates. This much is clear to all of you. Now, Prime Minister of India, before Prime Minister, he is also a parliamentarian. Hai na? To become a Prime Minister or to become a minister, you have to fight the election of Lok Sabha. Clear? Which is a legislature election. But Prime Minister is the position of executive. Prime Minister is the position of executive. So, in case of India, to become a minister, first you have to be a parliamentarian. This much is clear to all of you. So, when Prime Minister sits in his office, he is considered as Prime Minister PMO office. But when he is going to represent in Parliament, he is considered as parliamentarian. Similarly, king was called as Gopala, Bhopala. Clear? But whenever he goes to Samiti, he will be considered as a member of Samiti. So who will be the head of the Samiti? King. But here king will not be considered as a you can say ruler, or you can say Gopala. Here king will be called as Ishan. Ishan means Ishwar jaisa, like God. This much is clear to all of you. This much is clear. So here king will be called as Ishan. Clear? Next, Gana. Gana means General Assembly. Now, why this assembly was created? Suppose there is a problem of electricity, water problem, general issues. General issues will be discussed in which assembly? Gana. Then next is Vidhata. Vidhata is something related to, like if someone abused your caste, varna, religion, then you will go to socio-cultural assembly, that is Vidhata. So this is the for socio-cultural issues. This much is clear to all of you. Functions of these four assemblies: Sabha, Samiti, Gana and Vidhata. Clear? But the most important assembly was Sabha. This much is clear. So who is going to decide that king will go for a war? Sabha. This much is clear. And remember this thing, during this time period, now during this time period in Rig Vedic period, there was no standing army. What is the meaning of standing army? Yes, army is there. Clear? Who is going to protect? A different wing is there. Clear? Now the question here is, sir, if standing army is not there, then how this Rig Vedic people, they used to go for a war? Who is going to fight? King and his officials, his family members, all these tribal people. Clear? So what was the structure? See, now here the structure was like, on top level king was there. Clear? Then king was supported by Purohit, then Senapati. Senapati means commander of the army, but army was not there. Standing army was not there. This much is clear to all of you. So this Senapati belongs to tribe. He will be considered as tribal militia. This much is clear to all of you. Then what was the lowest unit? Family. This much is clear to all of you. So suppose head of the family was called as Kulpati. So if two families are there, so how many head of the family? Two. Now these families were divided into one group. These families, they are divided into one group. So the group will be called as Gram. Group will be called as Gram. This much is clear to all of you. So in later Vedic period, when states were established, then Gram will be called as village. But here in Rig Vedic period, Gram is called as group. Clear? Gram is called as group. So head of the Gram will be called as Gramani. Head of the Gram will be called as Gramani. So suppose there are other families in this particular tribe, again two families, so two Kulpati, and they are divided themselves into different group, that is Gram. So here another Gramani will be there. This much is clear to all of you. Then these two groups together, they will create one clan. These two groups together, they will create one clan of a tribe. And clan was called as Vish. Head of the clan will be called as Vishpati. This much is clear. And on top of Vishpati, Senapati, Purohit, and then king. This was the structure. This much is clear to all of you in Rig Vedic period. In later Vedic period, gram will be called as village. Group of villages will be called as Vishpati or Vishya. This much is clear to all of you. So remember this thing, if king will go for a war, he will take Purohit, Senapati, Vishpati, Gramani, all these Gramani, and then all these Kulpati. That means there is no standing army. Clear? This is how they used to go for a war. What if these two grams will start fighting among themselves? If these two grams, ऐसा भी तो हो सकता है ना, in family member, in a family, like various people, they started fighting among themselves also. So if a fight will take place between 2 grams, then the war between gram is called as Sangram. Mahabharat war, it was a Sangram among the family members, है ना? Just hear the song of Mahabharat, बोलते हैं ना ये सबसे बड़ा संग्राम है. Sangram means a war between the groups, family members, है ना? Kauravas and Pandavas. This much is clear to all of you. So the war between 2 gram is called as Sangram. This much is clear to all of you. Clear? This was the structure. So during this time period, there was no standing army. Why there was no standing army in Rigvedic period? Because there was no taxation system. And if you want to maintain the army, you need tax. Then only you can maintain the army. Clear? And to maintain the army, you need to have money economy, because soldiers will always be paid in cash. This much is clear to all of you. Soldiers will always be paid in cash. Clear? So when we are going to get the evidence of standing army, the moment money economy will start, that is 6th century BC. This much is clear to all of you. Understood this concept? There was no standing army. So how they used to go for a war? King, Purohit, Senapati, Vishpati, Gramani, then Kulpatis. Clear? This was the structure. This much is clear to all of you. Now, so let's come to later Vedic portion. Now here king was powerful in later Vedic period because he belongs to kingdom. Clear? Another important thing. Now why king was powerful? Tell me why king was powerful? Okay, then army was not there because money economy was not there in later Vedic period also. Now Varna system started in later Vedic period. Brahmins were the most respected. If Brahmins will say that this person is a god, people will believe. Clear? So Brahmins started 3 sacrifices to maintain the supremacy of a king: Ashwamedh, Rajashoya and Vajpayee. This much is clear to all of you. So here, why king was powerful? Because king used to perform 3 sacrifices: Ashwamedh, Rajashoya and Vajpayee. What is Ashwamedh sacrifice? To show the supremacy of a king in front of regional kingdoms. Suppose in this sacrifice, the king will send his horse to the other kingdom, and if the ruler of other kingdom is going to capture that horse, then the war will take place between the Ashwamedh king and that other kingdom ruler. But if the ruler of other kingdom is not going to capture the horse and he will let go that horse from his kingdom, that represents that other king accepted the supremacy of Ashwamedh king. This much is clear to all of you. For example, Prime Minister Modi is going to perform the Ashwamedh Yagya, है ना, for our regional nations, in which Nepal, Bhutan, Pakistan, Afghanistan, all the leaders, they were invited, and then he sent horse to the Pakistan. But if Pakistan leader is going to capture the horse, then the war will take place. But if they are not going to capture the horse, then it will be considered that Pakistan has accepted the supremacy of India. This much is clear to all of you. That is called as Ashwamedh sacrifice. Clear? That means they have not captured. That means Pakistan does not want that they have to go for a war with India. It is better to accept the supremacy of India. This much is clear to all of you. And in this way, POK will also come under the control of India. This much is clear. That is the hypothetical situation now. Clear? But that was the scenario in this period. Now, on 21st day, that horse which was sent to the other kingdom, that horse will be brought back. Clear? And then that horse will be sacrificed along with sterile cows and oxen. Clear? That is why it is called as Ashwamedh sacrifice. So why it was performed? To show the supremacy of a king in front of regional rulers, that I am the superior one, I am the superpower here. This much is clear to all of you. Second is Rajshuya sacrifice. Clear? Rajshuya sacrifice. See, there are two types of parliamentary form of government. One is called as cabinet ministerial form of government. Another is called as prime ministerial form of government. Clear? What is the meaning of prime ministerial form of government? Where prime minister is very strong. Cabinet ministers are not strong. Indira Gandhi government was the prime ministerial form of government. Current government is the prime ministerial form of government. This much is clear. Another is cabinet ministerial form of government, where cabinet ministers are very strong, not prime minister. Manmohan Singh government. All the decisions were taken by the head of the Congress party, and cabinet ministers were more strong than the prime minister. Clear? Now, if ministers are stronger than the ruler, then they will always try to dominate. It can create hurdle for a ruler. In this way, ruler need to show his supremacy in front of his ministers. Understood? What is Rajshuya? To show the supremacy in front of his colleague. Clear? To show the supremacy of a king in front of his colleague. This much is clear. So Rajshuya sacrifice. And who is going to perform this sacrifice? Brahmin. So it is a kind of alliance between Kshatriya and Brahmins in this period. Clear? Which will not be liked by the Vaishyas. That is why Vaishya community will join the Buddhism in 6th century BC. Jain, trading class. Clear? So that is why it is a kind of alliance that Kshatriyas will protect the kingdom, Brahmins were the intellectuals, and both were protecting each other. This much is clear. Brahmins gave, you can say, respect to the Kshatriya class in the society. This much is clear to all of you. So in Rajshuya, so Rajshuya sacrifice basically the coronation ceremony of a king. Like in Mahabharata, Lord Krishna killed Shishupal during the Rajshuya sacrifice of Yudhishthir. Mahabharata देखी है कि नहीं देखी है? In Mahabharata, Lord Krishna killed Shishupal during the Rajshuya coronation ceremony of Yudhishthir. This much is clear to all of you. So it is basically to showcase the supremacy of a king in front of colleagues. Then Vajpayee sacrifice. Now all of you are preparing for this civil services examination, but your relatives, they might be having some sort of problem. Clear? That he is not going to clear this examination. He is just wasting his time. Clear? But the moment you are going to clear this examination, first you are going to meet whom? Your relatives. है ना? That is Vajpayee sacrifice, to show the supremacy of a king in front of friends and relatives. This much is clear to all of you. 3 sacrifices. This is how king will become powerful. Clear, everyone? Now where these sacrifices are mentioned, which is the Veda which is considered as book of sacrifice? Yajurveda. Yajurveda is considered as book of sacrifice. So these sacrifices are mentioned in Yajurveda. This much is clear to all of you. Now, so if king is powerful, now king belongs to kingdom. So here, if king belongs to kingdom, now king has created what? Organized administration. Bureaucracy will be there. This much is clear to all of you. So king has important officials. They are called as 12 Ratnins. 12 Ratnins means important officials. Like Yuvraj, crown prince, Mahishi, queen, Senapati, This much is clear to all of you. Purohit, all these were important officials of king. Clear? Then another important official will be there, as we have discussed that in later Vedic period, taxation system was started, Bhag. Clear? So who is going to collect the tax? Tax collector. So a new official will come in later Vedic period called as tax collector. King will not be considered as tax collector. Now he is going to appoint the official. So the person who is going to collect the tax will be called as Bhag Duga, means tax collector. This much is clear. So who will collect the tax will be called as Bhag Duga. Tax collector. This much is clear. Now you must be having some, sir, what will happen to what happened to these assemblies which used to be there in Rig Vedic period? Now in later Vedic period, Sabha Samiti does not exist. Sabha and Samiti maintained as mythological in nature. Sabha and Samiti. Now how you are going to remove this system? Just give it the name of mythological. Sabha and Samiti were considered as two daughters of Brahma in later Vedic period. This much is clear to all of you. Now Varna system came. Brahmins were on the top, Kshatriyas second, third Vaishyas, and last Shudras. Now what they are going to do? They have created new assembly called as Parishad. Parishad was the assembly dominated by Brahmins and Kshatriyas only. Now no more women, no more other members. This much is clear to all of you. Earlier women used to be there in Sabha, but now women position was declined. This much is clear to all of you. So Parishad was dominated by Brahmins and Kshatriyas. This much is clear to all of you. So during this time period, remember this, that there was no standing army again. Why? Because money economy is not there. Clear? When we are going to see the standing army? The moment money economy will start. And money economy is going to start after this period, that is 6th century BC. This much is clear to all of you. This is how there was a change in Rig Vedic to later Vedic political system. Clear? Yes. King and his official. Clear? Like if you must have seen the Mahabharat war. Who is fighting in that war? All the family members. Standing army was not present. This much is clear to all of you. Yes. No, king was actually elected by the people of his tribes. Clear? Like all these head of the family will come and they will elect one member. Okay, this person is capable. Where? No, no, he will be from the tribal people. Clear? He will be from the tribal people. Now here hereditary monarchy. Hereditary monarchy. King, after king, his son will become king. Now there is no role of election. Monarchy system was established. Yes, yes. How? There was one war which happened near the end of Rig Vedic period and the beginning of later Vedic period. That war is called as War of 10 Kings or Battle of 10 Kings, Das Rajan War. Now there is one story. There is one story that Bharat was the most powerful Aryan tribe. Most powerful Aryan tribe. So everyone wants to be a part of powerful region only. You would always want that I should become the commissioner of Mumbai. उससे क्या होगा? Name and fame दोनों होगा. This much is clear to all of you. Clear? So here in Bharat Kingdom there was a recruitment for Purohit. Now during this time period even Purohits were recruited. This much is clear. And two contenders were there, Vashisht and Vishwamitra. Vashisht and Vishwamitra. Now during this time period, remember this, Kshatriya can also be a Brahmin. Kshatriya means I am a soldier, I am a commander in chief, but at the same time I am also pursuing my PhD. That means Brahmin, intellectual. This much is clear to all of you. Clear? So Vishwamitra, first of all, he was a non-Aryan, and he's also considered as king. This much is clear to all of you. Vashisht was Aryan. Guru Vashisht was Aryan. This much is clear to all of you. Now, before this recruitment, Vishwamitra was already there in the kingdom of Bharat as a Purohit. But again, after some years, again recruitment will take place, just like election. Clear? So during this time period, the king of Bharat tribe was Sudas. Clear? So when the recruitment was there, Vishwamitra was known for his knowledge. Known for his knowledge. So it is obvious that who should be elected? Vishwamitra. But Sudas recruited whom? Vashisht. This was a humiliation for whom? Vishwamitra. This was a humiliation for Vishwamitra. So who is going to take the revenge? Vishwamitra. In this scenario, Vishwamitra created the alliance of 10 kings, and this 10 kings include 5 Aryan and 5 non-Aryan kings. 5 Aryans and 5 non-Aryan kings. In this scenario, a battle took place called as Battle of 10 Kings, and this alliance fought against whom? Bharat tribe. And in this battle of 10 kings, thus Rajan war, Sudas, who was the ruler of which tribe? Bharat tribe, defeated the alliance of 10 kings on the banks of river Parushini, that is Ravi river. Clear? So Bharat defeated all the tribes. Earlier Bharat was there in the northwest. Now he defeated the 10 tribes. That means the region of North India. So whole North India came under the control of Bharat. So North India came to be called as Bharat. From here, North India came to be called as Bharat region. From North India till Central India, all the tribes were defeated. Now from here, the hereditary monarchy will start. Clear? Like even in Mahabharat, Kauravas, Pandavas, all they belongs to which tribe? Bharat only. This much is clear to all of you. This is how hereditary system was started. Clear? Now one more thing. In Rig Vedic period, we have seen that non-Aryan can also be a priest. But for the very first time, one non-Aryan challenged the Aryan king. So now it is necessary to decrease the position of non-Aryan people. So now non-Aryans will become Shudras in later Vedic period. Varna system will come. In Rig Vedic period, Varna system was there, but Varna system was not rigid. If you are a Brahmin, you can also be a Vaishya, you can also be a Kshatriya. But in later Vedic period, the moment Varna system will come, if a person born into the family of a Brahmin will be Brahmin, Shudra will be Shudra. That means rigid. This much is clear to all of you. So because of this, because Vishwamitra challenged the whole system, so this is one of the reasons that why the position of non-Aryans was declined in later Vedic period. This much is clear to all of you. And then another important thing is that non-Aryan, that means Shudras. Now Shudras cannot become a Brahmin. But here Vishwamitra was the non-Aryans, who was also a priest. Gayatri Mantra, famous mantra, was composed by Vishwamitra in third mandal of Rig Veda. This third mandal of Rig Veda was composed by Vishwamitra, who was a non-Aryan. This much is clear to all of you. So that is why the system started changing in later Vedic period. Clear? Understood? Now how hereditary monarchy will start? Everything was under the control of Bharat. Clear? So earlier Mahabharat was called as Bharat. Then gradually more shlokas were added, and finally 1 lakh verses came. Then it became a very big scripture. So it came to be called as Mahabharat. This much is clear to all of you. Draw this. Online students, clear to all of So these sacrifices system were like political propaganda to maintain the supremacy of a king. Clear? Battle of 10 Kings, Dashrajan War. Clear? On the banks of river Parushni. Parushni means Ravi river. Yes, because they were very strong. They were having strong tribals. Their warfare war strategy was very strong. Clear? And along with, it is said that they were at that time there were only two powerful tribes. One was Bharat, another was Tritsu. Clear? And in this battle of 10 kings, the most powerful Aryan tribe was Puru. Puru, Puru. तो यहां पर एक और चीज सीखने वाली है, the feature of diplomacy. Though whenever you defeat your strong enemy, never humiliate that enemy. After the war, always create friendship with that strong enemy. Why? If you are going to humiliate that enemy, again the feeling of revenge will be there. Just like Germany was humiliated by the France after the First World War. What was the outcome? Hitler. Clear? What was the outcome? Hitler. So we need to learn this. Never humiliate your strong enemy. So remember this thing. After this war, now you will understand the sociological history. After this war, Bharat created alliance with Kuru. That means like family alliance, intermingling. Together they came to be called as Kuru. Clear? They created the alliance with Kuru. Then together they came to be called as Kuru. Mahabharat, which clan? Kuru clan. This much is clear to all of you. Remember this. Clear? And this is not something which I am telling something new. It is already there in your old NCRT, R.S. Sharma. This much is clear to all of you. So no need to read NCRT. Your notes are sufficient. Clear? As I have said, only follow your notes plus Poonam Dalal Daya. Clear? Old NCRT, new NCRT, everything we have taken. Clear? In class, everything we are going to discuss. Clear? Done? Now write down Rig Vedic polity. Online students, this much is clear to all of you. Dakshina, still video lagging is there. Okay. Now write down Rig Vedic polity. The Rig Vedic political system. The Rig Vedic political system was centered around. The Rig Vedic political system was centered around Jana or tribe, centered around Jana or tribe. Full stop. The famous Jana or tribe, the famous Jana or tribe were Bharat, Tritsu, Tritsu, Bharat, Tritsu, Puru, Panchal, etc. Full stop. Next point, there was no standing army. There was no standing army. Because there was no taxation system and money economy. Because there was no taxation system and money economy. Full stop. As society was a tribal society. As society was a tribal society. Society was a tribal society. So people of the same tribe, people of the same tribe consider them as their family, During this period, the king was assisted by tribal assemblies. The king was assisted by tribal assemblies. How many tribal assemblies are there in Rig Vedic period? 4. What are those assemblies? Sabha, Samiti, Gana, Vidhata. Clear? So write down Sabha. King was assisted by 4 tribal assemblies. So first, Sabha. Sabha was the most decisive assembly. Only elders members are present. So write down Sabha, most decisive assembly, which was exclusive in nature, number wise, as it included elder members, of the society, but gender wise it was inclusive, since it had both males and females, as members. Clear? Write down the scholars like female members like Lopamudra, female scholars like Lopamudra, Gargi, etc. Lopamudra, Gargi, 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 etc. Clear? Then Samiti. Now Samiti, we see number wise it was inclusive, but gender wise exclusive. only male members, है ना, head of the family. Write down Samiti. Number wise it was inclusive. Number wise it was inclusive, comma, it was less decisive in nature. It was less decisive in nature. Only males were part of this assembly. Only males were part of this assembly. Only males were part of this assembly. The head of the assembly was called as Ishan. So here king was called as Ishan. The head of the assembly was called as Ishan, means like God. Clear? Means like God. Then comes Gana. Gana means General Assembly. Gana. Now why Gana was there? Gana was the General Assembly for the general issues of the tribe. Clear? Write down. Gana was General Assembly for the general issues of the tribe. Gana was General Assembly for the general issues of the tribe. General issues of the tribe. This much is clear. Then last assembly was Vidhata. Vidhata. And Vidhata was actually attended by the entire tribe. Clear? Because it is related to socio-cultural issues. To show people, if you are going to abuse someone's religion or varna, you will be punished like this. This much is clear to all of you. Because during this time period, there was no judiciary, nothing. It was just among the tribe people only. And they cannot create judiciary and all to administer the one family. Judiciary, all these institutions are for the kingdoms, not for the only family members. This much is clear to all of you. So, write down Vidhata. This assembly was attended by all members of the tribe. Write down Vidhata. Attended by the entire tribe. Attended by entire tribe. And its main work was to deal with its main work was to deal with socio-religious matters of tribe. Socio-religious matters of tribe. This much is clear to all of you. So these four assemblies were very important. Whether king was powerful? No, king was not powerful. Why? There was no standing army. The moment king is going to have the standing army, then king will become powerful. Because now he can make you to follow his laws. Otherwise you will be killed. This much is clear to all of you. So here king was not powerful because he was elected by the people of his tribe. Clear? So write down next point. In Rig Vedic period, king did not possess any despotic rights. Because there was no standing army with him. Full stop. King had to listen the orders. The orders of Sabha and Samiti. King had to listen the orders of Sabha and Samiti. So king had to fight with the support of tribal militias. Clear? So who were the important officials of king? Already we have discussed, na? Purohit, Senapati, then Vishpati, Gramani, Kulpati, Clear? And even spies were also there. Once Ajit Doval mentioned in his speech that even this poinage system was there in Vedic period also. And spies were called as Spasa, S-P-A-S-A. Clear? What was the work of Spasa? To collect the information of other tribes. To collect the information of other tribes. This much is clear to all of you. So king, during this time period, important officials were Purohit, Senapati, Vishpati, Gramani, Kulpati, Spasa. Remember this term, Spasa. It is not given in the book. Spasa means spies who used to collect the information of other kingdoms. This much is clear? So in this scenario, when around 1000 BC discovery of iron took place, then the economy got changed, and then the Jana polity transformed into Janpad system. This much is clear to all of you. And at the same time, when the Rig Vedic period or early Vedic period was about to end and the later Vedic period was about to start, a great war took place called as Battle of 10 Kings, that we are going to discuss in the last. Clear? So just change the paragraph and write down. Around 1000 BC, around 1000 BC, around 1000 BC, economy started changing. Economy started changing. So there was also change in the political system, also change in the political system. Due to the birth of agricultural economy, due to the birth of agricultural economy. Full stop. In this way, land has become the most important commodity. Land has become the most important commodity. So there was birth of state system, birth of state system, birth of state system. Like new states came into existence, like new states came into existence, came into existence. Kurukshetra, Kurukshetra, Panchala kingdom, Panchala kingdom, Videh, Videha, Videh. Later Videh will become Magad. Videh, Videha, Videh, etc. Next point. The Rig Vedic assemblies, the Rig Vedic assemblies lost their significance in this period. The Rig Vedic assemblies lost their significance in this period, and new administrative system came into existence. New administrative system came into existence, came into existence. That is 12 Ratnins, 12 Ratnins, 12 important officials, 12 Ratnins, which includes Mahishi, queen, which includes Mahishi, 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 queen, Yuvraj, comma, Yuvraj, crown prince, Purohit, head priest, Purohit, head priest, etc. Purohit, head priest, etc. Now king was called as Bhupala, protector of land. Clear? Or Rajan. King was also called as Rajan, Rajan. This much is clear to all of you. And monarchy system was established. Write down. In this period, monarchical system was established. Monarchical system was established. And Jana was transformed into Janpad. Jana was transformed into Janpad. Transformed into Janpad. Now, so in this period, source of income for state, source of income, bhaga, means tax. So tax collector was called as bhagduga. Tax collector, bhagduga. And chief treasurer was called as Sangrahitri. Chief treasurer was called as Sangrahitri, who is going to deposit that money, tax money. Sangrahitri was the treasurer. Was the treasurer. This much is clear to all of you. So during this time period, tribal assemblies lost their importance, and Sabha Samiti were considered as the daughters of Prajapati or Brahma. Clear? Now a new assembly came called as Parishad. Parishad was dominated by Brahmins and Kshatriyas. This much is clear to all of you. So just write down. Sabha Samiti lost their relevance. Next line. Sabha Samiti lost their relevance. Now a new assembly came called as Parishad. Sabha Samiti lost their relevance. Now new assembly came called as Parishad, which was dominated by Brahmins and Kshatriyas. Dominated by Brahmins and Kshatriyas. Brahmins and Kshatriyas. Full stop. To confer supreme power to Rajan. To confer supreme power to Rajan. To confer supreme power to Rajan, priestly class devised three important ritual sacrifices. Devised three important ritual sacrifices. Three important ritual sacrifices. First, Rajashoya. Rajashoya, as you can see here, Rajashoya. Clear? Why? To showcase the supremacy of a king in front of his colleagues. It was basically a coronation ceremony, and in this ceremony, Brahmins used to get large amount of land, clear, large amount of materials. This much is clear to all of you, as a dakshina, gift. Clear? So write down Rajashoya. It was basically a coronation ceremony. It was basically a coronation ceremony. Full stop. In this ceremony, accession of Rajan to the throne. In this ceremony, accession of Rajan to the throne with the blessings of priestly class. To the throne with the blessings of priestly class. Then second, Vajpayee. Vajpayee to showcase the supremacy in front of friend and relative. So basically in Vajpayee, a sport event used to take place, like chariot race used to take place. And after the event, a grand feast was thrown to public. This much is clear to all of you. Write down. Vajpayee. In this ceremony, sport events, sport events like chariot race, was to be organized. Chariot race was to be organized. Full stop. After the end of sport event, a grand feast was thrown to public. A grand feast was thrown to public. Clear? And the last is Ashwamedh. A horse was sent to other kingdom, that to show the supremacy of a king among regional kingdoms. Clear? Ashwamedh sacrifice. So write down, in this sacrifice, territorial expansion was done. In which a horse was sent with the flag of kingdom. To run into the territory of other kingdom. So if the ruler of other kingdom captures the horse, then a fight was ensured. And whosoever would be victorious will control the entire territory. But if the other ruler does not capture the horse, then it means he has accepted the supremacy. Of Ashwamedh king. Full stop. On the last day of ceremony, horse was brought back to kingdom. And it was sacrificed along with 21 sterile cows. And more than 200 bulls. Clear? That was the scenario. This much is clear to all of you. So this change came in later Vedic period, and the most important battle which took place, that is Battle of 10 Kings. That Battle of 10 Kings took place between Sudas, and because of that battle, whole North India came to be called as Bharat. And after that battle, Vishwamitra composed Gayatri Mantra, retirement from politics. Clear? And he was defeated by Bharat. This much is clear to all of you. So I am not going to dictate that battle because we have already discussed. This much is clear to all of you. So we have discussed two formulas, economy and quality. Understood? Concept समझ में आ गया? Clear? They now they were mingled inside within the Bharat tribe. Clear? And remember this thing, now you will understand in society, defeated Aryans were called as Das. If an Aryan ruler defeated another Aryan, so defeated Aryans were called as Das. Clear? Their position was still favorable. But non-Aryans came to be called as Dashu. Non-Aryans came to be called as Dashu. And because after this war, Dashu Hatya started, killing of Dashus, mass killing of Dashus, mentioned in Rig Veda. And in later Vedic period, those Dashu or non-Aryans will become Shudra. In Rig Vedic period, there were only three Varnas: Brahmin, Kshatriya, Vaishya. It was not related to Aryans, first of all. A Brahmin can be non-Aryan also. Non-Aryan priests used to be there. But after this battle, now Aryans wanted their total supremacy. How they are going to maintain their total supremacy? Through various system, Varna system, Ashram system, Gotra system. Through Gotra system, what they will do? That Aryan should not marry into the family of non-Aryans. This much is clear to all of you. Clear segregation will be done. That was the scenario in this period. Clear? So now we'll discuss about society. So third formula is Vedic society. So it can be divided into Rig Vedic or early Vedic society. Second, later Vedic society. Now Rig Vedic society, here Jana was the polity, only tribal family. This much is clear to all of you. So all tribal families were equal because they were continuously moving from one place to other. So here the nature of Rig Vedic society was egalitarian. Egalitarian means equal. Equal society. But racial discrimination was there. Now, how racial discrimination? We can see that discrimination through Varna system. Varna, the literal meaning of Varna means color. The Varna means color. So, Varna here divided into two parts. Shwet Varna means Aryans, fair complexion. Clear? Second, Sham Varna means dark complexion. Basically, in this, non-Aryans were there. This much is clear to all of you. Shwet Varna and Sham Varna. Now, so in Rig Vedic period, the society was divided into three important professions. Brahmins. Here, Brahmin is not associated with top level Varna. It is a profession. Clear? If you are an intellectual, you will be considered as a Brahmin. Clear? If you are a warrior, you will be considered as a Kshatriya. If you are a trader, you will be considered as a Vaishya. If we go by this thing, so Ambedkar should be considered as a Brahmin. है ना? High intellectual. Clear? That is why Buddha said, na, Varna should be based on karma. If Shudra is capable of becoming an intellectual, he should be considered as Brahmin. Clear? So Brahmin, Kshatriya and Vaishya. Okay. Now, so like Brahmins can be Aryans and non-Aryans, both. Capable person. Clear? At the same time, in society, three groups, these are professions, three groups are also there. One is Aryans, another defeated Aryans. Like Puru was defeated by Bharat tribe in Battle of Ten Kings, so Puru will come under defeated Aryans. Defeated Aryans were called as Das. Non-Aryans were considered as Dasyu. Now try to understand, nowhere the term Shudra is used here. But the moment in later Vedic period, Varna system will come. When Varna will become system, means institution, then Varna will not be based on color. It will be based on hierarchy, birth. Brahmin, if you are going to take the birth in the family of a Brahmin, then you will be considered as Brahmin. You know? If you born into the family of a Vaishya, then you are considered as a Vaishya. And it cannot be changed. That means mobility was not allowed. This much is clear to all of you. So, these three groups were there, and even in Rig Veda mentions about Dasyu Hatya, means killing of Dasyu. This much is clear to all of you. Next, position of women. Though Rig Vedic society was patriarchal, but gender equality was there. How gender equality? Like women had the right to get education. Like various women scholars are there. Like Lopamudra, Gargi, Yami, Gosha, etc. Then women used to marry at mature age. That means no evidence of child marriage. No child marriage. Social evils were not present. Sati and all, it was not there. Dowry system was not present in this period. This much is clear to all of you. Now, so women had the right to attend political assemblies also. Clear? Women were allowed to sit in all the ceremonies along with their husband. Women were allowed to sit in all the ceremonies along with their husband. That means they were equal to their husband. That is why wives were called as Ardhangini. Equal to husband. Clear? Clear? Women had the right to choose their spouse, means husband. That is why the concept of Swayamvar was there. This much is clear? If polygamy was allowed, So polygamy was allowed in this period. That means men can have more than one wife. So polyandry was also there. Women can also have more than one husband. Mahabharat, Draupadi, है ना, 5 Pandavas were there or not? So this is the perfect example of gender equality. This much is clear to all of you. So these things were there in this period. Women were also allowed for right to education. In right to education, there was a system called as Upanayan Sanskar. Upanayan Sanskar means women can also wear the thread, that cotton thread which Brahmins used to wear. This much is clear to all of you. This was the system. Clear? Now these things started changing in later Vedic period. In later Vedic period, the society was complex society based on various systems. Varna was there in Rig Vedic period, but now it became an institution called as Varna system. Clear? So complex society, Varna system. Ashram system. Gotra system. Purusharth. These different systems came. With respect to Varna system, first of all, what is the source? 10th Mandal of Rig Veda. 10th Mandal of Rig Veda. Under 10th Mandal of Rig Veda, there is a theory of Purusha Shukt. Purusha Shukt theory. Now, what does this theory says? This theory says that human beings came from body parts of Brahma. So those who came from head of Brahma, they are called as Brahmins. Those who came from shoulders, Kshatriya. Those who came from thigh, Vaishyas. Those who came from dust or feet, they are Shudras. This theory was given. And this Varna system will be based on birth. A person born into the family of a Brahmin will be a Brahmin. Kshatriya, Kshatriya. Vaishya, Vaishya. Shudra, so Shudra. So Brahmins were like intellectuals. Kshatriyas, warriors or ruling class. Vaishyas, traders. Shudras, working class. They had to serve other three Varnas. Clear? They had to serve other three Varnas. That was their duty. Second is ashram system. What is ashram system? These are 4 stages of life. First stage, brahmacharya, student life. Then grahasth, married life. Then vanaprasth, partial retirement. And last, sannyas, complete retirement. Clear? Initially, three ashrams were there, mentioned in Chandogya Upanishad. And Vedic religion became more materialistic in nature. Then they introduced spiritualism in the name of sannyas. Clear? Jabala Upanishad mentions four ashram. What is the source? Four ashram is given in Jabala Upanishad. We'll discuss Upanishad and all in Vedic literature. Clear? So source here is Jabala Upanishad. This much is clear to all of you. Now, there are certain rules. All these four ashrams will be followed by Brahmins. Kshatriyas will follow initial three ashram, Brahmacharya, Grahastha and Vanprastha. They cannot follow sannyas. If they are going to take the sannyas, then kingdom will decline. Na? Clear? Vaishyas had to follow only these two things, Brahmacharya and Grahastha. Why not partial retirement? Business will decline. Expand the business. Duties were there. And Shudras were not allowed for ashram system. This much is clear to all of you. Shudras were not allowed in this. So, for Brahmins, all four ashrams. For Kshatriyas, initial three ashrams. Vaishyas, initial two ashrams. Shudras, no ashram system. Shudra and women, they are not included in this. Women position now it is equal to Shudras in later Vedic period. This much is clear to all of you. Then third, Gotra system. Gotra system. Now, why Gotra system is important? Gotra means, what was the literal meaning of Gotra? Cow pen, remember? A place where a particular breed of cow was kept, ancestral house for cow. But now it has become a system. Why? It is a very strategic move. Gotra system, now Brahmins will ask their daughters, you have to marry in this family, you cannot question. It is a way to increase your power. Clear? So that their daughter should not marry in the family of Shudra. Clear? So Gotra became a system to increase the power. And this has become the most important reasons for the decline of position of women. Why? Because with this, now the right to choose their husband was also taken from the females. Now they have to marry in that family wherever they like their family members will say. Which means Gotra system made women as a commodity to increase the status of a family. It has made women a commodity to increase the status of a family. That is why this is one of the main reasons for the decline of position of women. This much is clear to all of you. Gotra system. And then the last, Purusharth. What is Purusharth? 4 aims of life. Dharma, Arth, Kam, Moksha. 4 aims of life. Dharma, do your duty. If you are a Brahmin, your duty is intellectual, to preach everyone. If you are a Kshatriya, your duty is to protect. If you are a Vaishya, trade and commerce. If you are a Shudra, to serve everyone. And do not interfere in other Varna. Clear? So, Dharma here is related to duty. Arth means create asset. material well-being. Calm, procreate children. This is related to which ashram? Grahast, married life. Clear? Moksha means salvation. Related to which ashram? Sannyas. This much is clear to all of you. 4 aims of life. Online students, this much is clear to all of you. Clear? This one? So position of women was completely declined in which period? Later Vedic period, because of various systems. Now, in Rig Vedic period, earlier women used to sit along with their husband in all the ceremonies. Now women were not there. Their position was taken by the Brahmins. Now Brahmins will come into the all the ceremonies to perform all the ceremonies where women were not allowed. So the position of women was taken by the Brahmins. They will recite mantras. Now women are also not allowed to recite the Vedic mantras. This much is clear to all of you. This is how the position of women was declined. Now women did not have the right to get education. So evidence of child marriage will also come into the picture. This much is clear. And in Rig Vedic period, there were 2 types of marriages, Anulom and Pratilom. Anulom marriage means upper class male can marry into lower class female. Clear? Marry to lower class female. That was allowed. Anulom. Pratilom, upper class female can also marry to lower class male. Though it was allowed, but it was discouraged. जितना हो सकता है रोका जाता था. This much is clear to all of you. But it was allowed. Anulom means where upper class male marry to lower class female. Pratilom means upper class female can also marry to lower class male, but it was discouraged. Another was Gandharva Viva in Rig Vedic period. Gandharva means love marriage. It was allowed in Rig Vedic period. That is why Swayamvar and all women had the right to choose their husband. Then Niyog Viva was also there in Rig Vedic period. What is Niyog Viva? Widow. Clear? Widow remarriage was there under Niyog Viva, where women was asked to marry with the brother of deceased husband. This much is clear to all of you. Widow can remarry, but with whom? Brother of deceased husband. Clear? But if she had a son out of first marriage, then she was suggested not to remarry. Clear? That was the system under Niyog Viva. Clear? So different types of marriages were there in Rig Vedic period. But in later Vedic period, done? You draw clear? Okay. Now in later Vedic period, what happened? Later Vedic period, there was 8 types of marriages, which I am going to discuss in the next class. Clear? And the Anulom and Pratilom system was also changed. Now how Anulom and Pratilom system was changed in later Vedic period? See, in later Vedic period, Anulom and Pratilom. Anulom means now upper Varna male. Here I am not using upper class male. Here I am using upper Varna male because Varna system came. Upper Varna male can marry to lower Varna female. That was allowed in Anulom. Pratilom, upper Varna female cannot marry to lower Varna male. What if she marries? If she marry to lower Varna male, then their offspring or their children will be considered as Chandal, untouchable. That was the punishment. If upper Varna female marry to lower Varna male, in Pratilom marriage, then their children will be considered as Chandals, untouchable. That means your children are not acceptable in the kingdom, not acceptable to the society. You will become Chandal, untouchable. This much is clear to all of you. That was the punishment. Clear? That was the punishment in this period. Clear? And then there are other 8 types of marriages. Okay. Now, if you see the women right in later Vedic period, women were not allowed to get education. That means now women are not included in Upanayan Sanskar. Second important thing, women were not allowed to choose their husband. Now Gotra system was there, family will decide everything. Clear? Women were not allowed to represent in political assembly also. That means political rights were also taken. Earlier, women were considered as Ardhangini. Now, women cannot sit in the ceremonies along with their husband. Their position was taken by the Brahmins. So, women was confined to household work. This much is clear to all of you. In this way, the position of women got declined. That means women were equal to Shudras. Women were equal to Shudras. Now, with respect to education, right to education, Upanayan Sanskar was there. Upanayan Sanskar. Now, in later Vedic period, this will also change. Upanayan Sanskar means right to education. So, Brahmins, Kshatriyas, and Vaishyas, only they were allowed. Only male Brahmins, male Kshatriya, and male Vaishyas were allowed, not females. Clear? Now, how to recognize themselves? Okay, this person is a Brahmin. He is already educated. How to represent themselves? Because they need to show their Varna also, na? Brahmin will wear cotton thread. Kshatriya will wear jute thread. And Vaishyas will wear woolen thread. This is how they will be recognized in the society. This much is clear to all of you. That was the level of discrimination. Clear? So this is not Hinduism. This is Vedic religion, Brahmical religion. And Brahmical religion and Hinduism are not same. Clear? तभी जब न्यूज में आता है ना that Muslims are threat, है ना, आजकल ये सारी चीजें जब न्यूज में आती हैं. If Muslims will not be there in India, then again the society will be divided into this category only. हम आ जाएंगे फिर से किस पे? ब्राह्मण, क्षत्रिय, वैश्य. Clear? Elections के टाइम में देख लिए, you will get so many examples during the time period of elections, है ना, like in UP, Brahman Sena, and they say because Ravan was a Brahmin, है ना, तो उनका टैग होता है गर्व से कहो हम रावण, है ना, in the area of Ram. Clear? So the reason here is Hinduism, first of all, it is not a religion. It is just a way of life of Indian people. Buddhism, not a religion, way of life of people. Judaism, Jews, way of life of people. The word where ism is written, it is just the philosophy. This much is clear to all of you? Clear? That was the level of discrimination during the later Vedic period. Clear, everyone? So in next class, I'll dictate, you can write. This much is clear. Understood this much? Concept समझ में आ गया that how society was transformed from a simple society into a complex one. And caste system is different, Varna system is different. Varna is based on birth, caste is based on profession. Tailor is a caste based on profession. Your Varna can be Brahmin, but if you are involved in the profession of tailor, then your caste will be tailor. This much is clear to all of you? So there is a difference. So caste system will start from the Gupta period. Clear, everyone? Online students, this much is clear to all of you? Okay. So in next class, we are going to complete this Vedic period. Then we'll start with the Vedic literature. And after completing Vedic literature, then we are going to practice the PYQs related to Vedic period. Clear, everyone? Clear? Any doubt? Hmm? Where? In the matter of? Hmm. See, the reason was everything is based on economy, and all these changes happens gradually. Clear? Like during the time period of by the end of Rig Vedic period, the society gradually started changing based on the amount of power that you are going to get. The moment Aryans became powerful, Bharat became powerful. Now they will try to dominate on others. Clear? है ना? Like from 2014 to 2017, है ना? Shoot up in the boost in the wealth of Ambani and Adani within 4 to 5 years. Why? Because of the policies that changed. Clear? So 400 years तो बहुत ज़्यादा होता है. Clear? To change the society. Clear? Society changed after 1991 because of the LPG reforms. Sudden change आ गया. Yes. What was the main reason? Was humiliation of Vishwamitra. That was the main reason. And they all, like Aryan kings and non-Aryan king, they also wanted to be a power in the different region. As I have said now, that iron was discovered in the south first, around 1200 BC. How it came to North India, that is a matter of debate. Clear? So they were aware about iron and those agricultural things. So they also wanted to acquire the power, those 10 kings, but unfortunately they got defeated. Bharat came to power, and Bharat uh, became the dominant tribe in North India. Clear? So main reason is power only. Clear? That is the main reason. Yes. Which one? Hmm. See, if you see Central and West Asia, that region is still under the control of tribes, tribal communities, and they will always fight in that region. Clear? Because it was the trade route also, and they were fighting for the resources. But yes, if you see the Europe, and if you see Europe, Greek civilization was there. Socrates, Aristotle, these kind of peoples were there. So in this European system, if India was having the Varna system, Europe was having the class system. Master and slaves. A person who is a master can be a master. Slaves, if he is born to a slave, then will be a slave only. And in Greek society, inequality was natural, because Greek philosophers used to say all persons cannot be equal. Every person had different capacity and capability. Clear? That was the scenario in. So in Europe, since beginning itself, class system will be there. In India, Varna and caste system. Clear? That was the scenario. है ना? Any other doubt? Yes. Non-Aryans means indigenous people. IBC people, non-Aryan people. है ना? Mongoloids, Albanoids, Dravidians, they are non-Aryan. Non-Aryan means who did not speak Sanskrit language. Aryan is the linguistic term. The people who is going to speak Sanskrit will be considered as Aryan. That was the literal meaning. Later it will become a race because of these systems. Yes, as per the theory, but in reality he was non-Aryan. Clear? That is why there was a feeling of you can say rivalry between Vasishtha and Vishwamitra. Clear? And that war changed everything. Clear? There is one more reason. Like there was one rishi whose name was Yagnavalkya. Gargi was his wife, the wife of Yagnavalkya was Gargi, and Yagnavalkya created one theory, transmigration of soul. So a huge debate took place in the court of Raja Janak. So Yagnavalkya was there. So the theory of Yagnavalkya was challenged by his wife. She was also a scholar, Gargi. This was not liked by Yagnavalkya, and he snubbed his wife. You just keep quiet. Clear? This is also, so when you find the reasons now, this is also one of the reasons that why the position of women should be declined. Clear? Yes, Faisal. Okay. Okay. This is also one of the reasons. Clear? So there are multiple reasons for that. There are multiple reasons for that. There is no single reason. The only thing you need to understand that because economy started changing, and the moment economy will change, the type of people, type of society will develop, will also change. This much is clear to all of you? That is the main reason. Clear, everyone? So rest of the things like is society and religion we are going to discuss in next class. Clear, everyone? Online students, clear?